Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar. We will get started in just 30 seconds. Well, welcome everybody to our webinar, What USDA NIFA Grants Are Available. This this program is being funded by the U.S. Food Safety Outreach Program. It is a collaboration between Texas Tech University, Alabama A&M University, and Iowa State University. Our title of our project is called Empowering Minority Serving Institutions Food Safety Specialists to Write Successful Food Safety Outreach Grants. This is funded again by USDA Food Safety Network. So this is myself, Dr. Angela Shaw. I'm here at Texas Tech University. We have Dr. Armitra Jackson, who is at Alabama A&M University. We have Dr. Shannon Coleman on the line from Iowa State University. And we have our grant officer or our grant writer on deck, Christine Strom. The agenda for today is we have a guest speaker today, Jody Williams from USDA NIFA, who is our funding agent for this. We will also talk about other grant opportunities, tips, and we'll talk about future webinars and opportunities to get involved. As well as you will see our link again for our website for so many things. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Jody Williams. Give us 1 second as we transition our slides. Thank you, Jody. Take it away.
All right, thank you. My name is Jody Williams. I'm a National Program Leader at USDA NIFA, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some NIFA programs that we have by giving you an overview of NIFA in general, and then talk about the Agriculture and Food Research Initiative, and then kind of follow up with some other opportunities that we have and other grant resources. So as a bit of an overview, for those of you who don't know, the National Institute of Food and Ag is the extramural science funding agency within USDA's Research, Education, Economics mission area. NIFA invests in and supports initiatives that ensure the long-term viability of agriculture by providing funding and strategic leadership for programs that ensure groundbreaking discoveries in ag-related sciences and technologies to ensure that those technologies reach the people who can put them into practice. NIFA covers a vast area of topics, and that can be anywhere from bioenergy and biotechnology to environment, global engagement and global food security, crop production, human sciences, farming and ranching, natural resources, of course, food quality and food safety, which is my area of expertise, as well as nutrition, obesity, wellness, and many, many more. And so I'm going to go very specifically into some of the programs that are funded by NIFA, but just understand that all of these areas are inclusive of all of our programming. So this QR code takes a look at some of the funding opportunities that we have in both our AFRI, so the Agriculture and Food Research Initiative, and our non-AFRI programs. So I only have about 20 minutes to talk, maybe 25. And so what I wanted to do was really highlight one particular program that many of you are familiar with, but may not know a lot of the nuances of, and then kind of share additional resources on some of our other non-AFRI programs. There are about 40 non-AFRI, just over 40 non-AFRI programs in the agency, and so I couldn't possibly cover them in this limited time. So a little bit about the organization of the Agriculture and Food Research Initiative. So it aligns with the 6 Farm Bill priorities. There are 3 separate requests for applications, and they're published as 2-year requests for applications. The program that the one I'm going to talk about most today is a Foundational and Applied Science program. I'll also touch on the Education and Workforce Development program, as well as some information on our Sustainable Ag Systems program. Most of the deadlines will remain as they've been for the past 3 years. RFAs are released around mid-December, between mid-December and mid-March, and that's for all 3 programs. So starting out with phase, and then Education and Workforce Development comes next, and then our Sustainable Ag Systems usually comes in last, closer to that March deadline. Again, the Foundational Applied Sciences is a 2-year RFA with submission deadlines in August. So the RFA releases sometime around mid-December. Proposals are due in August through November, some of those later applications. The Education and Workforce Development is also a 2-year RFA. And what I mean by 2-year RFA is that we release it with 2-year deadlines in mind. So there'll be a deadline for, say, for 2024 and a deadline for 2025. And so with similar deadlines, but we will repost it annually, but the same information, very similar information is on there, and it allows for better planning. The Education and Workforce Development is also a 2-year RFA with submission deadlines in August through December. And then finally, our Sustainable Ag Systems Program, that is a 1-year RFA with the submission deadline is actually June 6th this year. So these are our 6 priority areas that I said in terms of alignment with the Farm Bill. So it's plant health and production and plant products, animal health and production and animal products, food safety, nutrition and health, bioenergy, natural resources and environment, agricultural systems and technology, agriculture, economics, and rural communities. And we also have cross-cutting program area priorities that cut across these different areas, the priorities within these areas. Some of these areas are a little bit more mainlined and strict. These cross-cutting areas allow for more collaborative work across these different areas. So specifically looking at the types of projects, types of programs that are within the Plant Health and Production Plant Products Program, we have the foundational knowledge of agriculture production systems, the foundational knowledge of plant products, pests and beneficial species in agricultural production systems. We have the plant breeding for agricultural production program, physiology of agricultural plants, pollinator health, research and application, and conventional plant breeding for cultivar development. Under the Animal Health and Production and Animal Products Program area, these programs focus on animal reproduction, animal nutrition, growth, and lactation, welfare of agricultural animals, diseases of agricultural animals, and animal breeding, genetics, and genomics. For our Food Safety, Nutrition, and Health program under AFRI, we have the Food Safety and Defense program, which I provide leadership to. We have our Novel Foods and Innovative Manufacturing Technologies program. We have our Diet, Nutrition, and the Prevention of Chronic Diseases program, Food and Human Health, and Mitigating Antimicrobial Resistance Across the Food Chain program priority area. Under the Bioenergy, Natural Resources, and Environment area, we have soil health, water quantity and quality, sustainable bioeconomy through bio-based products, sustainable agroecosystems, and environmental justice. In our Ag Systems and Technology area, this is where all of our engineering programs are housed, engineering for agricultural production and processing, biorefining and biomanufacturing, nanotechnology for agricultural and food systems, and engineering for precision crop and water management. In our Ag Economics and Rural Communities program, we have programs that focus on our small and medium-sized farms, economics, markets, and trade, the social implications of food and agricultural technologies, rural economic development, and environmental and natural resource economics. We have 5 cross-cutting program area priorities. That includes the agricultural microbiomes and plant systems and natural resources, critical agriculture research and extension, data science for food and ag systems, interdisciplinary engagement in animal systems or IDEAS program, and then the agricultural biosecurity program. Now, all of these program area priorities that I've discussed on this slide and on the previous slides all have very specific criteria in terms of the types of projects they are looking to solicit for. And that information is included in the full AFRI Foundational request for application. 3 additional cross-cutting areas is extension, education, and USDA Climate Hubs partnership, the AFRI Commodity Board co-funding topics, and the rapid response to extreme weather events across food and ag systems. Looking a little more closely at the CARE program, this program looks to fund local, regional, or national projects that yield solutions quickly and can be rapidly implemented by producers. This program addresses all 6 Farm Bill priorities for AFRI, and it does receive applications on a rolling basis. So this is one of the few programs within our within AFRI or within NIFA that doesn't have a firm deadline. A little bit more about the Education and Workforce Development Program. There are 6 topic areas under the Education and Workforce Development Program. Professional development for agricultural literacy, training and continued education for K through 14 ag teachers. And these are all specific programs under this very specific request for application. So the Education and Workforce Development request for application is different from the Foundational and Applied Sciences request for application. It also includes the agricultural workforce training grants at community colleges, food and agricultural non-formal education, research and extension experiences for undergraduates. Institution applies for group fellowships. And then we have our pre-doc and postdoctoral fellowships, and the individual actually applies for these, whereas most of the other applications where there is a PI or project director, they apply through their university. These are the individual submit the applications and receive the funding individually. For Sustainable Ag Systems, this program was started in 2018. It was basically a progression of the challenge areas that we typically had in each specific Farm Bill priority area, and we combined them into the Sustainable Ag Systems to create a new transdisciplinary systems level approach to solving some of these huge ag challenges. This program is up to 10 million per systems level coordinated project or grant. So these are our CAP grants. Sustainable Ag Systems solicits creative and visionary projects that use transdisciplinary approaches. They integrate research, education, and extension. So they all include all 3 of the functions of research, education, and extension. They are fully integrated. They promote convergence of science and technology. They solve both present and future challenges to the food and ag production system. They result in societal benefits, measurable societal benefits, and they must address one or more of the long-term goals that are specified in the request for application. Now, the priority areas within SAS do change annually, typically. Maybe not by a whole lot, but they do change annually. A little bit about AFRI project types. So AFRI has a lot of different projects types that we solicit for. There are single function projects. So there are projects that are research only, they can be extension only, or they can be education only. We also solicit for integrated projects. Some of them integrate 2 of the 3 functions, or they integrate all 3 of the functions. So they can be research and extension, or they can be research and education, extension and education, or they must have all 3. Each program area priority will specifically state what they're soliciting for, and only applications for those solicited project types are going to be accepted for review. So you have to read the request for applications very closely to determine what project types are being solicited for in the different program area priorities. These are the different grant types that we have. So project types would be integrated and standard. Integrated or single function. The grant types are standard grants, coordinated ag projects, so that's SAS, that's our CAP grants. We have conference grants, and we also have what we call our phase grants. Those phase grants are for pre- and postdoctoral fellowship grants, our strengthening grants. There's several types of strengthening grants, and I'll get into those. And we have our new investigator grants, and there are 2 types of those new investigator grants. The goal of our phase grants programs to help institutions develop competitive projects and also to attract new scientists and educators into careers in high priority areas of national need in agriculture and food sciences. Our phase grants, as I mentioned, we have our pre- and postdoctoral fellowships. We also have our strengthening grants. Strengthening grants can be strengthening standard, they can be strengthening CAP, strengthening conference grants, or seed, sabbatical, and equipment grants. And those pretty much speak for itself. Seed are smaller grants. They don't need a lot of preliminary data. They're smaller funding. Sabbaticals are for a sabbatical, and equipment grants are for equipment. But you're only eligible if you are eligible to receive phase or strengthening grants. We have our new investigator grants, and those are standard and strengthening standard grants, as well as new investigator seed grants. Eligibility for the project directors for our pre- and postdoctoral fellowships, you have to be a citizen, a national or permanent resident. And you also have to be progressing toward or completion of a degree. And there's a time limit for your progression towards and or completion of that degree. That's specifically outlined in the request for application. We also, in our strengthening programs, the project directors have to be located at degree granting institutions, either in EPSCoR states. They have to be at small to mid-sized institutions with limited institutional success, or they have to be at minority serving institutions with limited institutional success. For our new investigators, you have to be, it's first 5 years of your first career track position to be eligible, a limited publication record. And for new investigator standard grants, you don't have to have, you must not have received previous federal funding other than like an educational grant. So a pre or postdoctoral fellowship or an AFRI seed grant. For new investigator seed grants, again, same requirement, no previous federal funding other than pre or postdoctoral fellowship. Previous receipt of a seed grant for the new investigator seed grant makes you ineligible for an AFRI seed grant. Okay. So the partnership opportunity pilot, I'll talk a little bit about that, was initiated in 2008. It was incorporated into 3 of our foundational program area priorities. And what it provided was that an applicant may request up to $150,000 above the program's maximum budget limit for collaboration with specific partners. Those specific partners include those from strengthening eligible institutions and international partners. Now, the strengthening organization can lead the partnership, and they can also collaborate with other strengthening eligible institutions in order to get this partnership, these additional partnership funds. These are all the programs that I'm not going to be able to talk about. So these are all the non-AFRI competitive grant programs. There are a lot of them. There's over 40, and I do have the QR code here for this page because this is just a screenshot from our AFRI page, and it's on another slide. So if you don't get a chance to take a picture of it, it'll come up again. But this QR code will get you right to these programs. They're in alphabetical order, and you could just click on the link and it takes you right to the funding opportunity page or the program page for each of these programs. And what that provides you with is the eligibility information, the topic area, a better description, a longer description of the actual programs. And it also provides you with the contact information for the project, for the national program leader who's working, leading the program and working closely with the program. In addition to that, and this is another QR code, this is our resources from NIFA. I wanted you to focus really in on those first 2 tabs, the 2024 Resources Grant Support Technical Assistance Workshop and the 2023 Resources Grant Support Technical Assistance Workshop. The other one is for allowable and unallowable costs. That comes in later. That's after you found out what you want to apply to. But the 2024 Resources Grant Workshop, Grant Support Technical Assistance Workshop, I think it was a 3 to 4, it was a 5-day workshop. It's like 2 to 3 hours per day. And what it does is it provided a lot of information on all those programs that I previously listed. And in 2024, we broke them down by eligible entities. So based on what your institution is, we identified the types of programs or the types of programs that you would most likely be interested in. So if you're at a 1890 capacity building, if you're at a 1890 university, then we recommended looking at the 1890 capacity building grant program and all of the 1890s programs, as well as AFRI. Those were also highlighted in that workshop as well. And we went into more detail about the strengthening eligibility and things like that for AFRI. For the 2023 Grant Resources Program Technical Assistance Workshop, that was also a 5-day workshop, and it was a little bit longer, but it broke down individually all the different projects. So basically, the program leader who leads the different programs highlighted all of their the information in each individual program. So it's long, but you can fast forward. You can get to it's hyperlinked. You don't have to listen to every day. You can kind of go in and look at the ones that you're specifically interested in. And that's the QR code to get you to that page. And of course, I can share that information with you as well. And Angela will have these slides to share. One of the other things that if you're really interested in a program, but you're not quite sure like where to get started or how to get started or what to do next, we always recommend becoming a panelist, especially if you're like right on the cusp. So the proposal is due and there's no way you're going to be able to apply. That's it's actually the perfect time to send the program leader an email and let them know that you're interested in being a panelist for that particular program. Because that's right around the time panel managers and national program leaders are looking to recruit panelists. So you go to this, our website here, and okay, I didn't actually put the website information on here, but I can get it for you. And if you Google USDA NIFA panelists, it's gonna go right to our page. And then you'll click on panelist information, you'll click on become a panelist, and then you'll click on this page here, and right where it says panelist recruitment, once you click on that panelist recruitment tab, it'll take you to a questionnaire, and then you'll put in a little bit of information about yourself. But please, once you put that information in, make sure you follow up the program leader, because we don't necessarily query this system unless we absolutely need to. And so if you're really interested, make sure you reach out to the program leader of the program that you're interested in and just let them know, I put my information in, I submitted my volunteer questionnaire to be a panelist, and I'm interested in serving on your panel. And send your resume also. It's nice to have. Some upcoming events, if you're looking for a calendar of events for webinars, meetings, etc. This is our website for events that are coming up. Please make sure you take a look at those things. This is where we post all of our webinars that are coming up, and that can be in terms of specific program releases, as well as those grant writing resources. Webinars, technical assistance webinars. Also, when we have upcoming requests for applications release calendar, this provides you and lets you know kind of a calendar of events. It's about 3 months out. It's not for a whole year, but it gives you 3 or 4 months out. And it gets, as the application gets closer to the deadline, or closer to being released, not the deadline, but closer to being released to the public, the information gets a little bit more specific. So it may start off saying winter 2024, and then it'll get to like February 2024, and then maybe you'll get a date right before. So I urge you to kind of take a look at that, maybe monthly. It's not something you want to look at every day. It doesn't change that often, but maybe monthly on your calendar to just peek in and see what's going on in terms of RFA releases. Also, if you don't want to keep peeking in, you can sign up for our NIFA updates. This will get you I think it's weekly, a weekly update on what NIFA is doing, and it includes the request for application releases for all of NIFA programs. So what do you do if you have any questions on the programs, questions on becoming a reviewer? Reach out to the program staff. So send the program leader an email. We do get a lot of emails. Feel free to re-email us. Our feelings are never hurt. So just if you send an email and it's been a week and you haven't heard back from us, just send us another email to float it back to the top of our email list. And this is our non-discrimination statement. I have to say it in all of my presentations. So in accordance with federal civil rights law and the U.S. Department of Agriculture civil rights regulations and policies, the USDA, its agencies, offices, and employees and institutions participating in or administering USDA programs are prohibited from discriminating based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, gender identity, including gender expression, sexual orientation, disability, age, marital status, family and parental status, income derived from a public assistance program, political beliefs, or reprisal or retaliation for prior civil rights activity in any program or activity conducted or funded by USDA. Not all bases apply to all programs. Remedies and complaint filing deadlines vary by program or incident. Information on accessing communications for program information for persons with disabilities who require alternative means can use this information provided below from USDA's Target Center. There is a phone number available there. And also to file a discrimination complaint, you can file that by fax, by mail, or by email, at the information below. USDA is an equal equal opportunity provider, employer, and lender. And that is all I have.
Well, thank you, Jody, for that. I will, once you stop sharing your screen, I'll start the follow-up presentation.
Okay,
You can see your screen still.
okay, let me see how I can, I have a lot of, to find it.
I think I got it now.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Well, hopefully everybody got some great information related to USDA NIFA. Now, part of this series is that we are going to be sharing out a whole lot more information so that you can have a diversity of grant opportunities going forward. So some of those other grant opportunities you might consider are things like organizations, like I put here, the Center for Produce Safety is, and we have a lot of centers specific to specific commodities, people groups, locations. So really getting in some information related to that. And these are just a few of them that I pulled off for opportunities. So here are some tips. And if you haven't heard it already, start early. When you read the previous RFP, it's usually very similar to the current RFP. And as Jody had mentioned, some RFPs have 3 years worth of them in one RFP. So you're able to plan even a year out. So determine what your capacity is and what additional needs you might have to get that grant so that you can start brainstorming. And as Jody had, or Dr. Williams had said in the webinar prior, is maybe you want to become a panelist for that session. And then the following year, go into that grant. Develop your one pager. We have a session on how to develop a one pager, gathering your thoughts, thinking about your methodology, who needs to be included in that. And start early gathering those letters of support. And we will have a whole session about how to get support letters and how to make sure that you have your right team for that grant call. The next area I would say is talk to your program manager or your officer. They are right in your RFP. They tell who to contact. I reach out before every grant to determine if my ideas is a good fit. And what they will help you to do is gather your ideas, and maybe there's a different program that may be more suitable. Review previous recorded webinars that might be associated with that grant, and always make a goal of being ready to submit your grant at least 10 days prior to submission. You want to make sure you have time for feedback, make sure that all your compliance things are going into your grant, as well as there's no typos. I've been on many grant panels where it was just very hard to read the application. So this is our website that we have for this this grant series, and the QR code, you went to sign up on that website, but we have a lot of resources and references. We also have previous on-demand webinars, as well as that are recorded and on there, everywhere from short versions of what we're going to do next. This is our schedule for what we are going to have over the next lots of sessions. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about extracting critical information from your RFP. A lot of people, they see it, it may be 50 pages, it may be 200 pages. Let's show you tips and tricks. On May 8th, we're going to go into that white paper or that sales pitch, that one pager that you can send out to people that are writing letters for you. You can share it with the program officer on your ideas. On May 9th, we are going to talk about using the review criteria and the flow. We're going to talk about the importance and so forth. So a lot of good webinars coming up. This is our website that you are on and my contact information. So at this time, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to open it up for questions. And I'm going to stop the recording.